You're watching Tropics TV. Welcome to the West Tropics. We're going to head up now to a beautiful spot called Josephine Falls. We're going to have a quick swim and cool down, and then we're going to set up base camp for the night. I'm standing in the pristine waters of Josephine Falls. The water temperature is freezing and it is at least 20 degrees cooler than our body temperatures coming straight down off the mountains. The falls are very picturesque and feature its own natural water slide. Time for a nice cup of morning joe. Desperately needed. Okay, we're here at location 2. We're in the Eddy Bay region. We've already been scouting around up here. It's fairly dry and most of the creek beds are drying up. We have found this one filthy channel which is slowly but surely, I imagine, getting smaller day by day, and it is teeming with fish life. Bait traps out, we've got a few lines out, and so far we're coming up dry, but there are certainly fish here. We can see them. There's something that looks like a very large Melanitania splendida. This is also known habitat for Melanitania mccullochi, the dwarf rainbow, and Pseudomugil gertrudii. I suspect probably even the very large and very colourful snakehead gudgeon. So we're going to leave the traps in for a little while longer and go and explore some. Now, literally within 2 minutes of passing this road sign, we had a chance encounter that I never expected. Now, I've worked with this species on 2 occasions before in zoos, but I can honestly say I never thought I'd have an encounter with one of these in the wild, let alone simply on the side of the road. Now, the following footage I'd like to dedicate to my good friend and my brother from another mother, Chris the Mad Aquarius Biggs from Canada. Now, if you don't know Chris, he has a great channel with lots of content. I'll leave a link below. Now, the reason I'm dedicating this to Biggsy is he sent us a well-wishing message before we departed, and he said, "Be safe and bring me back one of these." So, brother, I delivered. On your Biggsy. Yo, dude. Out of the window, out of the window. Zoom in. Zoom in. Get me in the video too. Just wait. Okay, now just behind me here we have what's called a cassowary, a southern cassowary. They belong to the ratite family. Now ratites include birds like the emu, the ostrich and the rhea from South America. Now this guy here is capable of delivering quite a lethal kick. It's got claws there that could actually totally split me open. Now he actually has a chick with her in the bush, just hiding from us at the moment. She's actually very, very calm considering she has a chick with her, so she must be used to people, because she's not acting very defensively at the moment. Would you like to pass the camera over, Conan? Okay, as you can see in here, there's certainly fish jumping around. As you can see, this habitat is not exactly pristine, but this is actually quite typical for your Melanotania maccullochi and Pseudomugil gertrudae, the spotted blue eye. This is actually quite typical of their habitat. It's not so much tannin stained water as actually silt, heavy silt. That's as best as I can describe it. Not exactly that pristine habitat you come to think of when you're looking at them. Okay, time out. Now, as I mentioned, this particular habitat is not typical of what you would expect for an aquarium fish. However, there is one other species that does very well, the mud puppy, aka the estuarine or saltwater crocodile. Now, this is where things could have really gone pear-shaped. In a coming episode, we encounter a couple of fellow aquarists collecting fish. We join up for a while, and we recommend this location to them for their return home as it's on the way. Now, later on in the day, we receive a text message saying the following: Hey mate, Troy here. We checked out that channel under the bridge on the way down to Eddy Bay, and there was around a 40 centimetre snakehead with 3 girls around. Also a croc gutter with severed kangaroo legs just 2 metres away. Just to emphasise crocodiles in this region, sadly the day that we flew out, a young 25-year-old man was taken and killed by a crocodile roughly 20 minutes away from where we'd been camping. So not exactly the great Christmas present for his family, I'm sure. Very sad indeed. When collecting in this area, always have a partner. Have yourself a spotter. It's just common sense. You can disappear and no one would be any the wiser.
Our sole catch at Eddy Bay consisted of only 3 golden eel-tail catfish.
Okay, we're on site at location 3, Uchi Creek. Now this is the habitat of the monotypic Melanotania uchimensis, which is one of the prettiest native rainbows we have. One of my all-time personal favourites, and I really want to take some of these guys home. Now collecting on this site is quite difficult. There is a lot of rocks raising out of the creek bed. Very hard to pull a seine net around. They just catch on the rocks, so it's going to be quite difficult. The habitat here is essentially very stained tannin water. We are under the canopy of the rainforest, so there's lots of leaf litter. The bed of the creek is essentially leaf detritus, large boulders and open sand. Okay, I don't know if you can see them, but there's some fairly good size Uchi Creek rainbows just in front of us here. Probably around the 5 centimetre mark. Can you see any? Just keep going.
Net?
I don't know yet. Can you see any fish?
No,
Are you serious?
I don't see any.
Gotta be some in there. Okay, yeah, give me that net. Beautiful fish. That's a wrap for location 3, Uchi Creek. The net results: two Melanitania uchiensis. 3 hours, and we netted 2. There are plenty of them here, but the terrain in the bottom of the creek, it just makes it near impossible. Lots of large differential sized boulders, very hard to sit the same net down as a barrier net, and yeah, just real hard work. But I've got one of my dream fish now, so I'm a very happy man. Wish it could have been better, for sure, but Uchi Creek, folks, most beautiful fish.
In future episodes, we swim with rainbow fish, blue eyes, and others. Click subscribe and the notification bell to keep up to date.
Total Tropicals TV, species profiles, product reviews, collecting in the wild field trips, retail tours, fish room tours, interviews, unboxings, do-it-yourself tutorials, meet your local clubs and societies, conventions and auctions. Like, share, subscribe.